Hi and welcome to another episode of Sea Change Cinema. I'm Abby C and it is amazing to see you again this week. Thank you so much for allowing me to dive into your inbox every week. It is such a joy to spend time thinking about you lovely subscribers, my sailing list dreamboats. I love thinking about you. I love working out how you're getting on. I try to follow you on social media and in other places that you appear. I just love seeing what you're doing and how you're doing it, and I love thinking about it and working out ideas and episodes that will help you on this bumpy sea journey, because as we all know, it is a crazy business running your own show. And right now, it is crazier than ever before. So first of all, props to you for what you're doing. I see you and I think you're doing fucking great. So there's a wee F-bomb for you. I don't normally drop them on the episodes, but sometimes we need real reminders, very real reminders that we are doing everything we possibly can to get from A to B. So I see you, I support you, and I'm here with you doing exactly what you're doing. So for the homeschoolers that are watching this, take a breath. You're fine. Homeschooling was never on our list of goals for 2020, 2021 and beyond. Let's hope not beyond. But that's what's been chucked in our way. So for those of us, for you and me, going through the homeschooling experience, give yourself a proper moment to appreciate the work that you are doing and how you're doing it. You're going to have good days, you're going to have terrible days, you're going to have mediocre days, you're going to have all of that sometimes within the hour. Give yourself a moment to just appreciate that you are doing really great, and that your mental health and that your family's mental health is so much more important than your to-do list, and so much more important than making sure that your kids tick off all the tasks that they've been sent that day by their teacher. I'm saying this as a reminder to me just as much as it's a reminder to you. And if you're not someone who's at home teaching kids at the same time as running your business, you're valuable too. And the work that you're doing during this crisis, during this pandemic, is really, really important as well. So give yourself some slack. You're doing a fucking great job. And you're going to continue doing that because that's who you are. Together, all of us, we're hardworking, we're committed, we're dedicated, and we are not going to let this swamp us. Not all the time anyway. So that's my message for today, is just take time to appreciate all that you've done. Now, I listened to a podcast by this amazing writer called Gretchen Rubin. I will link all of the details in the notes with this episode. And it's been a sort of tradition of mine when I take the Christmas decorations down, I'll listen to like a really positive podcast that gets me really excited about the year ahead. And I sort of had a quick flick through the sort of last month's worth of podcasts for Gretchen Rubin. I think it's called Happier with Gretchen Rubin. And she had an episode where she and her sister, they present the podcast together. They reviewed a list that they had created right back at the very beginning of 2020, and their list was 20 things for 2020. Now, I hadn't ever thought of doing that. As I'm sure you know, my backstory is that I have hit the ground running with my business and continued to flap around for quite a long time without any plan or direction or, intention. That's not my experience now, but that's how it was at the beginning. So I had never heard of setting 20 for 20. But in this podcast episode, they talk about setting 21 things for 2021. And yes, we've got a pandemic. Yes, the world has gone all bonkers. And yes, things don't always go according to plan, but that doesn't mean to say that you can't have some things that you would like to do. So I have created a PDF, which I will again include in the Sea Change Cinema mailing list, but I thought it would be useful for you to see the sections that I have used to create my list of 21 things for 21. Now, it's not all work. You can do this separately for work, or you can, combine it. But my list includes things like a weekly walk by water, and, cooking more with the kids, things like that that are achievable no matter what the world throws at us. Things that enhance my life and make me feel, if not joyful, then at least connected and loved and loving. So maybe that's something that you would like to try. And if you would, then maybe these section headings will help you get a start on creating your 21 for 21. I know that we've got quite a bit of January's out of the way now already, but that doesn't mean that you can't still do it. Okay, so here are the headings. I've got health and fitness. Now for me, in there, I want to lose weight. I'm committing to that in front of all of you because I am determined that I'm going to shift some weight this year. So obviously that's a big project. There's going to be lots of little action steps in there, literally. But it's important for me to share it with someone so that you can come back to me and go, whatever happened to that weight loss thing? The next section is business and career. Now, I actually opted to not use that in my 21 for 21. I created a whole new list for my business for 21. Then there's family and friends. Obviously, that's a bit of a sticking point right now because we can't see anyone. That doesn't mean to say that it's forever. What it also means is that maybe there's some creative ways that you can connect with your family and friends that you haven't thought about doing before. For me, I really miss seeing my mum. I'm probably going to start crying actually. Hold on. I really miss seeing my mum. So we have now started on a Tuesday at lunchtime. We are going to go for a walk, but we're going to phone each other while we do it. And that kind of ticks a few different boxes because I want to get out more, I want to take breaks from work more, I want to lose weight, I want to get my exercise and movement up, but most of all, I want to see my mum. So this is the next best thing. So is there some stuff like that you can build in that make you feel connected and good and loved? Get them on your 21 for 21. Now the next heading is relationships and romance. Now it's going to shock you, but I am not really a romantic type person. My husband is. Poor bloody Brian. So on my list, I'm going to try and be more thoughtful about meeting his needs when it comes to things like romance. And that, I'm not talking about negligees and fluffy high-heeled slippers. God, the thought. What I'm talking about is being more thoughtful and finding ways to surprise him and finding ways to treat him because he deserves it and I love him. Moving on. The next section is finance. Now, I'm doing a course at the moment with a client of mine, Hina Thacker, about money mindset and money skill set. And so it's brought loads of stuff up about what I really want to do. It's not about smashing, X amount of £1,000 every month. It's about what do I need? Why do I need it? And how will I get it? So there's a whole chunk of stuff there for my 21 that I'm really going to dig down into. And hopefully it will mean that from a financial perspective, I'm just a little bit more in control and focused and intentional. The next section is personal development. Now, I don't know about you, but I am a bit of a online course fan, in that I buy millions of them and I don't always finish them. So I have decided to really look at my personal development and work out what I want to achieve by the end of the year. Where do I want to grow? What new skills do I want to have? And weirdly, one of those things is Google Analytics. I don't know, I may change that. The next section, essential, fun and recreation. There's not an awful lot to do right now for fun and recreation, apart from walking. And if you've got kids, you've probably heard, not another walk, about a million times. But what can you do for fun and recreation? What can you do for yourself? What can you do with other people, with your family? Get them on the list. What would you like to do? What have you always dreamed of? I would love to go on a hot air balloon. Brian doesn't fancy it at all, but I would love to go on one. Is that something that I can maybe plan this year? I don't know, but it's definitely something that is on my list that I can think about doing at some point. If not with Brian, maybe with some lovely friends. And the final one is a bit of a strange one because it's not really something that I am particularly expert in. It's the heading is spirituality. I'm not religious, but I am, it turns out, quite spiritual in that I believe in love and I believe in kindness and I believe in people. And when you bring all of that together, I guess spirituality is the heading for that. So what can you do to connect more with those beliefs and with those values and those intentions? For me, I really want to learn how to read tarot cards. I used to do it years ago. In fact, it's how me and Brian met. Well, it's part of our meeting story. And it's fallen by the wayside. So a good friend of mine has committed to teaching me this year. And she gave me a lovely deck for my birthday. And it's all about stories. It's all about plans. It's all about your values and your intentions. Whether you believe in it being a fortune teller or not, that's up to you. But for me, I just love the stories around the tarot cards. So that's one of the things on my spirituality list. So I think I've probably talked long enough about lists after telling you to not take your to-do lists very seriously. But I just thought that was a really fun way to look at the year ahead. You know, in the fun and recreation, I've written down go to a gig, go and see some live music. Oh God, I hope that's possible. But if it's not, then I know how important that is to me and I can make sure that it's something that I look forward to as soon as we're able to get back to some form of normality. So have a go at it. You know, it's a really nice activity to really think, what do I want this year? And even more fun, try it with your family. I bet they've got some great things that they would like to add to the list that you haven't thought about. So take some time, create your list. If you want to share any with me, that would be amazing. I'll create a wee PDF so that you can see the headings again, and I'll give you some examples and all that. But I'm pretty sure at this point you're capable of writing a list yourself of things you want to do and things you'd like to achieve. So that's it for today. Make some time for yourself. Give yourself the appreciation you deserve, because I know you deserve it. So take it and breathe. You have got this. See you next week. Bye bye.